The Baldwin reputation for timeless craftsmanship is expressed through its long history of innovation. Baldwin has pioneered countless advancements in product design and engineering. In fact, Baldwin was the first to forge hardware out of solid brass and introduced America to lever designs from Europe when knobs were the norm.
We were manufacturing a chain door guard. It was actually a casting. I was grinding those castings and my hands were covered with green dust. And I was thinking, you know, there's got to be a better way of making a living than keep on grinding those castings. I drew a little design. I thought that if we make it out of an extruded material rather than in a casting, it would be much easier to finish. I wouldn't have to grind it anymore and I could buff it. So quickly after lunch, I made myself a little sample out of a sheet of brass and polished it, and it went very well. I took it to New York City and offered it to the wholesalers. And they says, "What is this?" I said, "It's a new chain door guard we just made." Every place I went, they loved the chain door guard. This was a turning point for the company. That small little item became really the first time we started making money because it was easier to make than any other chain door guard on the business. The cast one gave us a greater profit and truly brought in innovation. And today, 98% of chain doors done any over the world are exact copies of our chain door guard. So we're sort of proud that we're the very first ones to do it. All our competition was casting, and we were the first ones to start forgings. And the Baldwin eventually achieved the specific look. Everyone that had a Baldwin product, they could immediately tell it is Baldwin because of the design, of the shape, the shine, and the finish. And I think that's what made this us so different. And of course, I believe that today we're the most imitated lock company in the world because we really were the first ones with most of the new designs. We went to Williamsburg and I saw rim locks, those beautiful cast rim locks. I bought a rim lock as a sample and brought it to our plant. We reviewed it and we thought it's impossible for us to do it. It's a big heavy piece way beyond our capacity of our presses, and figured out there need to be a better way of doing it. And as a matter of fact, it took us several years of working and experimenting, and we came up with an idea. Instead of having a cast outside case and brass, we made it out of very heavy, thick brass sheet metal. And silver sodded the edges, made it look just like a casting. And that was really our beginning, the turning point. We were able to beautifully finish it, but above all, we were able to introduce the modern locking facility to the rim locks. The old rim locks had just bit keys in it, they were heavy, clumsy, and unsafe. Ours had a cylinder lock operation, and we kept on adapting it and changing it and adding many, many other features. The mortise lock history really is kind of a remarkable. An architect for a large university in Ohio came to us and asked, "Couldn't you make a mortise lock?" And he said, "We can do anything. You know, all we need is an order for it." He said, "I will give you an order if you can make a good mortise lock." So we adapted really the construction and process that we use in our rim lock and made a mortise lock in very much the same way. Instead of using brass, we used a steel case. Every part inside was forged out of brass. It made a beautiful, smooth operation. It is unquestionably one of the finest locks made any place in the world. We brought it into the decorative hardware business, and which allows the manufacturer to provide all the various features and designs not possible with any other lock. Not only that it is a lock that is easy to operate and sounds good and feels good to use, but it is also beautiful in its design and very, very, very strong. For several years, we're working on process of chrome plating, gold plating, all kinds of things, trying to get a finish that's truly permanent. And eventually one day, through a completely coincidence, and that's what usually happens, I think, in life, in business. Somebody comes to you with an idea. Someone came to us with the idea, said, we can gold plate in a guaranteed lifetime finish. We worked with a company that developed this lifetime finish and eventually built a special plant just for the lifetime finish. We were the first company in the world to introduce lifetime finish for our hardware. Polished brass by Baldwin is truly lifetime guaranteed. And anyone that buys our product is sure that it will never tarnish as long as he owns it. That's our sure guarantee. And that's again our place and legacy in the hardware industry, that we were the first ones to come up with it. Going on with the tradition of Baldwin, we always want to be the first and always be the most inventive. I'm so happy and proud to realize that we have entered the electronic age. Now Baldwin locks can be opened by remote control with your own telephone, something truly unknown. What security and safety the owner of the house will have, knowing that he can open or close it at any time he wants to by remote control. That is another great achievement of our engineering development and another pride of Baldwin.
These industry firsts from Baldwin changed the landscape of premium hardware in America and around the world. They represent the timeless craftsmanship that has been associated with Baldwin for more than 60 years. It's a spirit of innovation embodied in Baldwin's founder, Severin Fairman, and it's a tradition that continues today.